Okay, welcome to another Tuesday night shiur. Okay, let's get into it. Where's Eliezer? I can't see him. His wife just called him. He had to run out. Okay.
Imagine being married.
What's this week? Imagine I'm already married.
It's a beautiful thing. I'm saying it's a beautiful
now,
thing.
Which parasha are we in? Vayeshev. Look at her. Yes, Baruch Hashem. Oh, he's back. Oh, you studied it. Why not? Any Torah we learn is good Torah, right? Tov li Torah picha me'alfei zav v'chaseh. Good is for me. The words of Torah more than all the gold and the silver in the world. What's so funny?
What's so funny?
What's so funny?
You can't be laughing at Torah.
No, it's called God.
You know, people. We spoke about purpose last week, right? Right. I mean, I'm not gonna get totally into it, but I'm gonna tell you a little tidbit. Purpose is such a vital thing to know and to have in your life that if you don't have it, you try to substitute it. And what do you substitute it with? Usually?
Desires.
Money. So when you laughed, it just showed me where your loyalty really is.
It's not true.
That's tough.
If you heard what he said, you would have laughed too.
When you laughed when I said that the words of Torah is greater than gold and silver, you would understand that the desire for gold and silver is because the establishment of ahavat of Torah is not there. You know those people that say, I love God, and they live life the way they want? Yeah, you know those people?
Mm-hmm.
Or they wake up late, so they do whatever they want. This is what Hashem wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true.
I don't think like that.
I was talking to one chassid about this concept. He's been in chinuch for at least 45 years. And I asked him about this. I said, how do you deal with kids that use that excuse why they come to school late? That's what Hashem wanted. I woke up late. You know that excuse? That's what Hashem wanted, you know? So he said, he didn't tell me, he told me what to look up and learn, but there's something that he told me which blew my mind away. What are two other creations God created? One is higher than us and one is lower than us.
An angel.
Angel, which is higher, and an animal. He said, you'll never see an animal ever in your life that will do something that he's not supposed to be doing from his nature. They'll never use the excuse because God made me do so. You can only use the excuse that God made me do it, that's why I came late, or that's why I did certain things, if you mastered your animal characteristic traits. Because once you master that animal in you, then for sure there is no excuse. The reason why you have an excuse is because you didn't master it. So you say, since it pleases me, this is why I did it. God made me do so. Yeah? God didn't make the monkey get up late, or didn't make the dog pee in its sleep and not get up, try to wake up the owner. The dog howled before, no? It did it barking to tell the owner, I gotta go to the bathroom. The owner didn't listen, so it peed. But what did it do before? It did what it was programmed to do. We're programmed to keep Torah mitzvah. So before you come with an excuse, first do what you're obligated and programmed to do, and then tell me that's what God wanted. Because until you don't do your fullest hishtadlut in certain things, if it's keeping Torah to its highest, utmost, and it's going to school and it's making money, if you didn't do that, you can't then use the God card. Because then you're not using the God card. What card are you using?
Excuse card.
Excuse, whatever you want. So that's the first thing. That's just because you said that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shekol nihiya b'dvaro.
Amen.
Why don't you spill that out of the cup?
Okay,
He has a reason.
this week is Parashat Vayeshev. I want to dwell on the first 3-4 psukim very, very much, and then we're going to skip to the selling of Yosef. These psukim, everyone looks, they're just the beginning of the story. They're not important. People don't delve into it. What's really going on over here? What's going on? I see you, I get pumped. I don't know. You like my, you know? Like, you remind me of my ADD and ADHD days when I had it.
You guys heard that?
Vayeshev Yaakov be'eretz mukure aviv be'eretz Canaan. And Yaakov settled in the land of his father, the land of Canaan. I'm not gonna emphasize too much about this pasuk. We can have hundreds of questions. Didn't he say that last week? Don't we know that he's in the land of his father? Then why does it say Eretz Canaan? We know Yitzchak never left Eretz Yisrael. So what's going on over here? I'm not gonna get into that question because that's not the point of the shiur. But I want you to understand how you have to look at the psukim when you learn the Torah. You can't just read it like a storybook because it's not a storybook. It's a teaching book. It's here to teach us a lesson. But I just raised 3 questions in the first pasuk. Second pasuk. Ve'ele toldot Yaakov. These are the children, continuation of Yaakov Avinu. Yosef, ben 17 shana. Yosef was 17 years old. He was a young kid. Baby. 17? What's 17? That's when all the ta'avot start to reach a climax in a person's head. 16, it's all in the machshava. You still think you're Superman. 17, you figured out that you're not Superman, but you're still gonna do it anyways. Right? 17.
Oh.
It was nothing. He was a baby. Haya ro'eh et echav. He would go and be with his brothers. Batson used to be a shepherd. V'hu nar, and he is a child. You hear what I'm telling you? This is a vital part of the pasuk. V'hu nar, and he is a child. Et b'nei Bil'ah ve'et b'nei Zilpa neshe aviv ve'yavo Yosef et dibatam ra el avihem. And we used to always be with the kids of Bil'ah and Zilpa. Who are those? Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. He used to be with them. They were similar in age, different reasons as well. And he went to speak to his father
Bad stuff that they do.
to talk about his brothers. One more pasuk before we get into the shiur. Vayisrael ahav et Yosef. And Israel, which is Yaakov Avinu, he loved Yosef. Mikol bana, from all of his kids. Ki ben zikunim hu, because he was the child of his old age. V'asa lo ketonet pasim, he made for him a nice, beautiful cloak. One more pasuk, I'm sorry. Vayeru echav, and his brothers saw this. Ki oto ahav avihem, because they realized that Yaakov Avinu loved Yosef. Mikol echav, from all the brothers. Vayisnu oto, and they started to hate him. Sometimes when my kids say that word, oh, I hate this, I hate this. Did someone lock the door upstairs? Let's check, because I left the door open, that top lock. I always tell my kids, you can't use the word hate. Hate is a very strong word. Hate is a full emotional word. You can't use that. You have to think before. You can say you dislike someone. I have a different opinion with someone. But you can't use the word hate. It's a very dangerous word. And they hated Yosef. V'lo yichalu dabro shalom, which is what we will be discussing. They couldn't speak to him in peace.
I guess he paid someone for that food.
Listen carefully. Oh yeah? Sit down.
Okay.
You ready? Let's break into this parasha. Here's my main question. One of my main questions. Yaakov Avinu, he knew that Yitzchak, his father, loved who? Esav, which built an emotional detachment or resentment between the brothers and between the relationship of the child and the father. How can Yaakov Avinu love Yosef more?
Different scenario.
Isn't he doing the same mistake of Yitzhak Avinu? First question. Second question. Why does it say that Yaakov Avinu had Yosef in his old age? Where's Binyamin first of all? Binyamin was younger than him. Why isn't Binyamin considered Ben Zikunim? Why specifically Yosef? That's second question. Third question. How come it says that Yosef was a nar, he was a kid, he was a little kid, but it also says that he was a Ben Zikunim, which means a son with a lot of responsibility, which is a stira. If someone's a child, he doesn't have that ideal, he doesn't have the chokhmah to be mature. It doesn't work that way. 3 questions today we will be tackling, and hopefully we will be answering in one compiled. Yes?
Can I ask on that?
Sure, my love.
Doesn't every parent have a favorite though?
Yes.
Naturally? That's what I'm saying.
I'm not
So
saying
every-
yes or no. There are children there is a certain favor, but a parent that's smart will not show it explicitly. Yaakov Avinu showed it. He sold him a custom-made coat. No? 2 sisters, right? Imagine your mother, right? You get married, Baruch Hashem, you should go, everything in peace, right? Let's say you get married and your mother gets you a special gift for your wedding that she didn't give her. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel bad. You won't say anything. Say, oh, I'm so happy for you. But really inside, son of a... How's that happening? Huh? Or the other way around, whatever the case is, right? Right? You'd feel that pain, right? Who are you lying to, right? Oh, they love him more, they love her more. It would hurt you.
Of course.
It hurt, right? How could he do that? How can Yaakov even do that? Why don't we ask ourselves these questions? Because we're in Torah land. We think the Torah is just a bluff. We're just here to worship God, to be donkeys, to be chamorim, to be animals. That's not why we worship God. We worship God to be one with our Creator. To be one, like this. Instead, how do we want to do? B'dil v'yavo, Rabbi, what b'di'evet? Can I do it? Can I not do it, Rabbi? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, you could do it. Okay, let me do it. Say, I want to do the best of the best. Oh, but I have a dream to dance with my husband in the first dance and all this shtuyo. Does Hashem want you to do it or no?
No.
So then what's the question? I have a lot of dreams. A lot. Oh, I have so many dreams, forget about it. I can write a book. There won't be enough paper and ink in this world to write all my dreams. But is it relevant? It's not relevant. What's relevant is what God wants me to do, not what my dreams want me to do. That's what you have to ask yourself. What is it to me? How can I become that perfect human being that I need to be?
That's a dream too though.
1 second.
It's
1
serving
second.
God.
Okay, but doesn't this...
1 second. I just said the questions. You guys are jumping on me. Okay, go ahead. Ask your question.
Like, you can't tell this to somebody who's like completely like away from Judaism, for example. So I feel like you have to take things upon yourself based off where you are. You can't tell somebody who always goes clubbing and all this stuff that they don't even know tefillin is, for example, to not have a first dance with their wife. You know what
Let
I'm
them
trying to
enjoy it. Let them enjoy it. Let them enjoy it. I'm not saying not to.
Oh, it's about in the weddings like that.
I didn't want to get specifically. I just threw that out. I don't even know why I threw it out. I just threw that out in a general aspect. But a person that's in denial, that knows the truth and wants Hashem and knows what's right and wrong, that's what I'm talking about.
But what if they know but they're so far away from
No. You can't know and be far. It's 2 different
Of course
things.
you can.
No, you can't.
Why not?
That's called denial. That's called living in a denial. When you know and you don't do, you're living in a denial. That's called being fake. The funny thing is, you're fake to yourself.
We're not supposed to...
But what did I miss?
You didn't miss anything. He's just asking questions that are irrelevant right now.
Hey, they're not really relevant.
We'll get
Like,
into
you
it.
can't flip right away. You can't.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Give me a second. Let me dream. You ready? Okay. No hard feelings there, buddy. Now, let's observe the story. We have the whole story wrong. What made, and I'm going to quote everything that I'm saying. I'm going to tell you from where I'm saying it so you don't think I'm making these chidushim up. What did Yosef have that all the brothers didn't have? I'm going to answer you because I don't know if you guys know the answer.
Rachel.
Oh, Binyamin also had Rachel.
Yeah, but he was the first.
So what? Usually the last is more loved. Why does the oldest son get double portion for everything?
I feel like Yosef was born in the time when everyone else was having the kids, and Rachel had him individually. While
Who,
everyone
Binyamin?
else- Yeah, and Binyamin came later.
They weren't so far apart in age.
He said something that triggered something in my head. Wasn't Yosef born without sisters? Wasn't he born by himself?
Correct.
Wasn't that something special in Yaakov's eyes
Correct.
also?
No.
No?
No. Dinah was born without a brother.
True.
You're saying why specifically him? Like the
What
oldest?
was special about Yosef
Because
that
Yaakov could see the
Yaakov
future.
Avinu loved him for that?
Real Kodesh, he could see the future maybe.
He wanted Rachel, but he couldn't have it different.
So we're all using the Rachel card.
Well, it's true though.
So I'm gonna tell you what I found fascinating from the Abar Banel. The Abar Banel was the last of the Rishonim, Rabotai. The reason why I started learning the Abar Banel more intense is because there is a rabbi online. His name is Rabbi Tuvia Singer. This man, for his life mission, is to battle against missionaries. And he said in a very recent class that he gave that if a person doesn't learn Tanakh with a Barbanel, this is, I'm talking about a master in Tanakh. He's a master in Tanakh. He knows the Tanakh by heart. He knows the New Testament by heart. He knows the Quran by heart. He knows these books by heart. So when he says, when you need to learn something in order to save you from sfekot, you listen. So I opened the Abar Banel and I said, let me see what he says about this parasha. And he said, let's analyze the pasuk. A father loves when a child knows how to act in his place. He knows how to represent himself when he's amongst adults, and he knows how to represent himself when he's amongst kids. He knows how to be a teenager with teenagers, and he knows how to be an adult when he's with adults. Fathers love that. They love it. It shows a sign of maturity. It shows a sign of good placement, good manners. The pasuk starts in saying that Yosef was a nar, he was a child, but he was a child when? When he was his brothers. But he was what also? He was considered a ben zikunim, a son amongst elder people when he was where? When he was with Yaakov Avinu.
The brothers weren't like that?
That was different about Yosef. He knew his place. Yosef knew when I'm with my father, I have to be like I'm in royalty now. When I'm out with my brothers, I know I can joke around. I have my place to be a kid. I can't be a kid next to my father and be too much mature next to my brothers. And then what does the Torah say right after? That he started to speak about his brothers. He started to speak about his brothers. Why is the Torah telling me this right now? Because as you get older, or if you have older parents, your parents want one thing from you.
Honesty.
No, they want to always be able to talk to you. If you ever had elder parents, they always say, why don't you call me? Why don't you talk to me? I miss you.
Why?
What's going on? Why? Because they're always alone. They're always at home. They're never outside. They don't associate with people. They miss that. Yosef was always in his father's house. So what was he talking to his father about? About what happened with his brothers. The brothers didn't tell Yaakov Avinu anything. They lived their own life. They weren't stuck with their father. Who was always with the father? Yosef. So Yosef started to talk to his father. His father saw he had a maturity. He knew his place. He knew how to speak. He knew how to associate. He knew how to be. So what did he create him? What's that ketonet pasim? What is that all about? What does the halacha say? The Gemara says, Masechet, I don't know, I think it's Masechet Berachot, that a person's stature was determined by the clothes they wear. The Hasidim still have this until today. If you're married, you wear that big like
Shtreimel.
furry hat,
Shtreimel.
shtreimel. And if you're not, you don't wear it. You know, when Mashiach comes, they can't wear that shtreimel. They have to throw it all in the garbage.
Why?
Because it comes from a tameh animal. Just let you know. Yeah, the beaver is a tameh animal, and they don't get it from a beaver. They get it from what's it called? A fox.
A fox.
It has to go to the garbage. You can't wear that. It's tuma. It's tameh.
It's not kosher.
It's considered. It's from the body of a dead animal, which is not kosher. They can't wear it. So all their investment has to go
How come now
out the garbage. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that right now. That's just a side point. When I tell this to my Rebbe, he doesn't get upset, but he's like,
You're right.
like. Don't say anything. Like, you know, it's a good feeling. You know, when you're Sfaradi, you know your stuff. You know where your Misorah is more stronger. You know, it feels good. So we have to understand the brothers hated him. Why? Not because he said Lashon Hara.
Because of the connection he had with his dad.
That's wrong to think that way. They had this sinah because Yosef thought he was better than them. What does it say in the pasuk? L'shalom. You can interpret that into two ways. First of all, he was shalom, he was complete. His father saw Yosef. Yaakov Avinu saw Yosef as a complete child. This is a child that everyone wants. Everyone's praying for. Everyone desires this kind of child. But what does the pasuk right away says? V'chalom Yosef, v'yechalom Yosef chalom, v'yaged le'echav. The Abar Banel said, if Yosef would have stopped and first said, Shalom Alechem, my brothers. I had a dream. I need your help to interpret it. He didn't say that. What did he say?
I'll be your king.
I had a dream, and you want to know what it's all about? It's about there was stocks and stars, and they bow down to me. You think you're going to like that, your brother in that case? Where's your derech eretz? How come Yaakov Avinu doesn't see this? Who's Yosef fooling?
Because Yaakov knew it was true.
Huh? Doesn't make a difference. He knew, of course he knew it was true. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the brothers now. How did this hate come from?
Why was Yosef fooling them? What do you mean? Maybe
He wasn't fooling them.
Maybe Yosef wanted to. It says I think in Masechet Brachot, if a person wants a person just tell their dreams to someone that cares about them.
So how do you do that?
Not like that.
Can I ask you a question? You're a married man. When you want to eat a certain dish, how do you confront your wife about it?
Jonah.
Ask her to make.
How?
Huh?
How?
Can you please make me this?
What did you use first?
Please.
Or you can say, you know, I remember that time you made something, it was delicious. You have such amazing hands. It's unbelievable. Even if you don't say to make it, I promise you that night she's going to make you that food. Why? Because you knew how to represent it properly. But if you go to your wife and say, make me A, B, C, and D, what's she going to do to you?
Yeah.
Like he said, he did it. Why? Because that's not the proper way of
Speaking.
talking. You don't do that. We don't do stuff like that.
It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it.
Correct. Representation is key. Rabotai, before we continue on the next part that I want to get into, I want you to comprehend what's going on over here.
It's like he's proving
To be a person with chen, with grace on your face, you have to take the advice of the Pirkei Avot. Da mekomcha. Know your place. You're in front of people that are older, that are smarter. Shut your mouth. Don't be machmadono. Don't be that stupid child, that little kid, even though you're 40, but there's a whole bunch of 60-year-olds that says, you know what happened? Shh, 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 shh.
Listen.
Just listen. Teh chacham. You want to get far in life? Be mute. Be mute. I don't know anything. Listen. Learn to listen. The more you listen, the more you grasp. No one likes the person that's loud. Everyone likes the person that's quiet and listens. Why? First of all, he's more of a mystery. What does he know, what he doesn't know? And if it's too loud, what are you yapping? You lost your head? Psst, quiet! What else do we learn from Yosef? There's a time to be a child, there's a time to be a grown-up. We have a problem in this community. Huge problem. We expect 15 and 16-year-olds to act like they're 50-year-olds. To know what they want to do with their life, their career. They were talking about marriage at 15. What does the Rambam say? You have to learn Kol Torah Kula before you get married.
What is it?
You have to learn all the Torah before you get married. Halachot Talmud Torah.
So why do rabbis tell people
Halachot
to get
Talmud.
married?
Why? Because you can't hold your Yetzer Hara, so they say get married. So you shouldn't do Averot. That's why. But the second you get married, if you're not Kovei Etim Torah, what are you doing? You're not Kovei time to learn Torah? Who are you lying to? How are you going to know what marriage is? How are you going to know how to act? How are you going to know how to live? How are you going to know how to have mecharech your kids? What is this nonsense? What is this shtuyot that we only think about? Kesef v'zahav, Johnny. Kesef v'zahav. How can we only think about this? This doesn't buy you anything besides ta'avot, besides luxury things that you don't even need. This doesn't buy you anything that you really need. What you really need doesn't buy. What you really need, you'll get automatic.
So why do we love money?
You love money because you have no goal in your life.
It's not true. It's a goal to be successful.
That's not true.
Financial freedom's kaif.
Right, that's not true.
You know what a goal is?
It's a goal. Kaif.
You're not listening.
Power.
You're not listening. Oh. What did you say?
It's a
You
kaif.
can't power your inner self, so you're trying to power others.
It's not powering others.
Yes.
Financial
I tell you why.
Power myself.
No. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain to you what I mean. We're digressing, unfortunately, but I have to because I put you in your spot. Listen. No.
Don't worry.
Spot voice, everybody. Put a muzzle. Listen. You ready? When a person masters his inner self, which takes years, but once you start on that path, you'll understand what I mean. When a person masters his inner self, automatically his sense of feeling what life's about changes. Why? Because you're a human being. You know how to control yourself. So if you know how to control yourself, you don't feel like the need to wanting to control others. Your image, how others look at you, doesn't matter. Why? Because you mastered in respecting your own image. When a person doesn't master that and wants to find a reason or an excuse for anything, he goes to the next easiest alternative, which is what? Having other people respect me and other people acknowledging me. And I can't do that just like that. So how do I have to do that? I have to earn a financial freedom.
I can still have a lot of money. And be
One
quiet.
second. Financial freedom is an illusion, and I'll explain to you why. Because the more you have, the more you want. The more you want, no, you're not. Because when you want more, that freedom that you think that you're having is not freedom. It's like a black hole that sucks you in. I never met a rich man in my life that just says, I made it, I can pay my bills, I'm okay.
I know one person.
I have my money in my account, I have money, I get my dividends on my stocks, I'm good, I'm fine. You know, one person out of how many?
But you say you don't know what I know.
I don't know any.
I'm just saying.
Okay, but I don't know any. The problem is you are not going to stop at that.
You don't know that.
I know that.
We don't know.
You want to know why I know that?
Why?
Because you're not happy with what you have as you are now.
That's not true.
Yes.
I'll tell you why.
No, you're right about the fact
One
that you
second.
always want more. You're 100%
One second,
right.
wait, I didn't
It's
finish.
too, Rabbi.
I didn't
I always wanna learn
finish.
more.
I didn't finish.
Order of the court.
When a person is happy with what he has, he doesn't want to strive for more. Listen. There is striving for, I'm going to explain to you what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I have to break it down.
No problem.
Striving for more monetarily is because you're not happy with what you have. I'm talking about money right now. When you strive more for money, it's because you're not satisfied already that the zeros that you have. You can have 8 zeros in your account. If you're still pushing for more, then you know what the problem is? It's not anymore the money. It's what comes from the money, which is what?
The feeling.
Power. You need other people to bow mentally, maybe not physically. Why? Because you didn't master yourself. When a person masters himself, other people's validation becomes obsolete, becomes a nothingness, becomes a garbage to you. Why? Because their feelings mean
Nothing.
nothing to you. Why? Because you mastered how you feel about yourself. Self-image is very important. This self-image that you have has to be mastered and only looked in the eyes of who? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But if you take this idea and you want to make it and master it for people, not for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what happens? What happens when you do that? You're lowering yourself. You need substitutes in order to take you into that. I see both of your hands. You need that substitute thing in order to take you to that place. Now, am I telling you to be poor? Chas v'chalila. Be monetarily successful. You should be. I want all of you to be multi-billionaires. But you know what the difference is? Let the money run after you. When you have to run after it, that's the problem.
How does money run after you?
Ah, you asked $1 million key question. That's for a different shiur.
Damn.
That's for a different shiur. When the money runs after you, want to know something? People that are destined to be rich, the money not just runs after them. The money grows out of them. Grows. You want to know the difference? You know what it means to grow out of you? That means the second you open your eyes, there's people throwing cash at you. I know people like that. Unfortunately, they're not content. But people just throw it on you.
How's this show always talking about money?
Why? Because you guys are in that age right now that in your minds, unfortunately, it used to be about other things. As you guys get older, different topics come up, right? You have to understand something, that a sense of a person's feeling of what is maturity? You know what maturity is? Acceptance. That's maturity. Most people don't reach that in their lifetime because they're never content. They never can accept the situation that they're in.
Right.
They always feel the grass is greener on the other side. Before I take your question, what was your
It's
question?
right on this.
I know, but I want you to think about it before. That's why. What did you want to say?
If I have a certain expense or whatever it is, and I don't have enough money to pay said expense, and it's a necessary expense, for example, rent, or for example, a car lease, whatever it is, certain things you need, how can one not naturally think, where's the money going to come from? If he doesn't have a source of
I'm not,
income,
okay. So you asked two questions in one question.
how?
I explained to you. To ask yourself, where's the money going to come from? You're right. You should ask yourself. But asking that is a fine line of kfira and a fine line of having emunah in Hashem. And I explained to you how. If kfira means not believing in God,
Denying
God
God.
forbid.
when a person asks that question out of no hope, out of saying, what did you do to me? How am I in this position? You're a kufir bikar. When a person's asking it and trying to figure out a way and understands God put him in this situation, he now has to get out of it, that's a big Baal Ma'amin. Like how you said last week, Moshe Rabbeinu had Gava. And I had to clarify to you that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't have Gava. He had the utmost anava, because he was able to write that because Hashem told him to write it. So too, to that question that you asked, a person shouldn't live like a debil, like an idiot. I'm not saying that. You have to work, you have to make money, you have to make a living, but you have to be content in what you have. And not say, because my neighbor has something, I also want it.
Say let's say Baruch Hashem, I'm able to pay for whatever my bills are, and then an unexpected expense comes up.
Correct. Like it happens all the time.
I'm gonna be, I'm saying, I try to work on this myself, but sometimes things happen.
The same way how the unexpected expense came, the unexpected income will come too.
Wow. It's hard.
I never said it's easy.
Possible.
No, it's possible.
It's
Don't say it's impossible. It's possible. I live it all the time. Don't say it's not possible. It happens all the time. The same way how the bill comes, you don't know where the Yeshua comes. The same way where the Makkah comes, the Trufa is right behind it.
It's possible.
The same place where the smack is, so is the healing.
Actually, no, I have.
Take it back. Don't be a kofir. Take it back.
Do it.
Very good. What's your question? What's your question?
I have a question.
1 second. I know. We're getting tight. The money lovers are in the house. Go ahead. What's your question?
What's more important for a person? How he views himself or as a wife views him?
Get up, Johnny, get up.
The way your wife views you is the way you view yourself.
What?
Say that again?
How?
She said,
I'm gonna say it again. The way you view yourself, that's the way your wife will view you.
Okay, how?
Where's your question?
How's that possible? How's you
Explain to me a
The
scenario.
way you see yourself is how your wife is going
Explain
to
to
see
me.
you.
If a person looks old bodegi, doesn't mean that he has that. He doesn't have that. Doesn't mean that he has a sense of confidence in anything. It could be all a fake. I want you guys to understand that what a person dresses is not necessarily who you are. That's just the costume that you're wearing for the day.
I agree.
I know a lot of people that dress like businessmen but are homeless.
I agree.
I know a lot of people that look homeless. They're all multi-billionaires.
There's girls that dress new.
Whatever the case is. Motzi Shemra, you say Motzi Shemra and the whole Klal Yisrael now. Chas v'shalom.
Sorry.
Understand? You have to worry about your wife and your daughters. Don't ever forget that. Understood?
Oh, no.
Now,
But it's true though.
sir, what's your question before I go to Yoshua? You forgot?
No, I got it. The question is, you say, you know, when you make your money, you always want more, obviously, you know, that's human nature. But it's also, I feel like it's the same thing where if somebody's old, why still work? It's the fact is they constantly
it's really like a
productive, because if you stop working, you're considered like dead
Correct.
in a way.
Correct.
So if you're an old person, even though you don't need to work, you work why? For the sake of being productive. It's the same way with money. Yeah, you could be content, but let's say you made a lot of money and you say, you know what, I made enough. I'm saying, what are you gonna do throughout the whole day? Yeah, you obviously have to learn this, that, but
No, what did you just do? What did you just do? What did you just do?
what do I do?
You tell me. Obviously, you have to learn. Like, I have to throw a bone to God. Here's your bone. Here, I learned for 5 minutes, an hour a day.
No, I'll tell you what.
You know what you obviously have to do? Learn 24/7. That's what you obviously have to do.
That's not for everyone.
What?
It's not for everyone to learn 24/7.
So you do chesed. You do things that are required for us to do. If you're gonna say, I have so much money, and you do A, B, C, and D, I'm gonna now make other people like that. That's another question.
But it's part of working.
No, not necessarily.
Tell you what.
Yeah, not necessarily. But if you're gonna say, I'm gonna continue doing it for my own self, tava, that's a problem.
No, why? I'm saying if you're working, you only put other people on.
Now, regarding the old people,
I'm saying the concept.
no, the concept you can't put together. The old
not?
people have to continue working. Because they're not,
But it-
at this point, they're not doing it for money. At this point, they're doing it to
live.
stay alive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When a young person like you should be always feel young and be young. Even when you're 100 years old, you should feel like this young, right?
Yeah.
You have to understand something. If your ikar in your life is the Benjamin, it's not a good thing. It's not. Because you don't understand how this starts to abuse your relationship between you and your wife. It starts to abuse your relationship between you and your kids. It even starts to abuse your relationship between people. Because unfortunately, regardless what you're going to tell me, when people have a certain amount of wealth, their nose starts to levitate up. I don't know what it is. It's like a levitate. It's called ego. I don't know why, but that's just what happens. That's an issue. Because then you don't believe it comes from Hashem. You believe it comes from who?
You.
That's a problem. That's kfirah. That's not believing in Hashem.
So what do you do at that point?
You have to always know. What do you have to do? You have to be normal.
What's being normal?
Accepting and loving every person. Your doors are always open.
Yeah, but you can,
I always hated people that they think since they're in power, they have authority, they have to be segregated from the people. You know who I am?
That's not good.
You know who I am?
That's not good.
You know, Korach did that. Not Korach, sorry. What's it called? Yitro did that to Moshe. He got punished because of that. Moshe got punished because of that. What was the punishment? Our Torah, we have different deot. If Yitro wouldn't do that, we would all have until today one way of halakha. The fact that Moshe had to teach it to the Nisi'im, and the Nisi'im had to teach it to Klal Yisrael, that's the problem. We don't work that way. Rabbis and people of power have to always be available. There was a story with Rav Moshe Feinstein. You know where Rav Moshe Feinstein was? The Gadol Hador of America, if not even the world at his time. The Gadol Hador! They were asking him halachic questions about surgeries, about the light fixtures, about the most intense thing in his time. One day, Shabbat ended, and he realized every Erev Shabbat he got a phone call from a lady that used to ask him, "What time is Shabbos, Rabbi?" You calling the Gadol Ador to find out what time is Hadakat Nerot? Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your rocker? He knew she passed away. Why? He didn't get a phone call that Friday. He said there wasn't a day and there wasn't a week that this lady didn't call me. She didn't call me this week. I knew she passed away. You have to understand how wealthy you are, how smart you are if you're not accessible to the people. If you're not a person that can sit with a 2-year-old on the chair and at the same time stay on the table with a 100-year-old, it's all ego. It's gava. It's an ego. It needs to be worked on. This was the problem of Yosef in his youth.
You always want more. It's natural.
I'm not saying that. You have to. A person in his life has to push this eagerness of wanting more. Not doing it towards physicality, but doing it towards your connection between your Creator. I want you to understand something. A man that knows how to devote himself to God is the most loyal husband in the world. Not the guy with the biggest beard and knows how to show it off. That's not what I said. A man that knows how to devote himself to his Creator will be the greatest husband in the world. Because he understands loyalty. He understands loyalty. He understands priority.
Consistency.
He understands that I am not just a servant, but I was put in this world for a purpose and a goal, and that is to do whatever I need to do. And for a husband, that means I understand that my priority is my wife and my kids, and I have to put them first before I put anything else first. That's all that needs to be done. When that's not done, how you said, how is the woman gonna perceive her husband? How is she gonna look at him? You know how? The way he looks at himself. You are your own self-image, my friend. You are your own self-image. The second you care what other people think about you, you're not a man of confidence. You're not a man that mastered I'm not talking about ego. There's two different things. There's a person that doesn't care what people say and says, I'm better than everyone. That's not what I said.
You don't seek validation.
No. I will not change my way of living life because somebody else doesn't like it. I have to be devoted to my Creator. Let's get into the second part of my shoe that I want to. Do you still have a question?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Two things.
Pick one of the two.
It's both of the same topic, pretty much, what you just talked about, literally. So first one was Rebbe, but you're saying you always want more with money, this, that. But also when you learn, you're always gonna want more too. It's never gonna end too. So the same thing. I'm saying they're very relatable. That's one.
But one causes sin, the other doesn't.
No, Hashem, money doesn't cause sin.
It could.
It could. Torah also could cause sin.
Yeah, you could overboard.
Okay, here's a good question. I was waiting for us. That's an intelligent question. Chazak Baruch, you're intelligent. You have to go to Lamanachai, right? Yeah, continue. Second question.
And second question is, I feel like a relationship with God and a wife is different because to God you're submitting, you're becoming like a slave, and then with a woman you're not a slave. You have to be more dominant because you're the man. So it's a little different.
You ready for me to pop your bubble?
No, don't.
You ready? Are you ready?
Don't do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah, what's your about the
When you get married, you submit to your spouse. You're not a slave. Slave is not submission. Submitting means you and her against the world. Submission goes both ways. You know when you're a slave? When only one person submits. That's when you're a slave. I'm not saying that. I'm saying real submission. Real is when you both submit to each other. That is the answer. Not that he's whipped or she's, I don't know, being controlled. That is only if one person is doing it. Real submission is between both of you. You both submit to each other's needs. Not I am submitting to my own needs, that's why I'm doing good to my husband. No! I'm submitting to his needs because I want to make sure that he's fully satisfied in everything that he needs. And he has to say, I'm fully submitted to her because I have to make sure that everything is fully satisfied for her. That's real submission. Understand? That's one clarification. Your second question was, which I like, how can you say that there needs to be a limit for a desire between you and financial, right? Money and stuff. But between you and God, it just grows and grows and grows and grows. There should also be a stop there.
God forbid.
So here's my answer to you. Here's my answer to you. Your money that you make has to just be a means for you to live. Your relationship between you and God is a means for you how to live. That means the point of your money should be for the point for you how to connect to God. That connection shall never break. Imagine, God forbid, not you, someone after, 10, 20 years of marriage, the wife says, I'm tired of you. Our connection is over. I need to find a new connection. How are you going to be? You're going to hang yourself, right? Because you and God connection, that connection is forever. But you and money is just the means how to make that connection. Do you understand? Don't get confused. Money is just a tool. It's not life. It's a tool how you're going to live. Life is this. Because this teaches us how to live. Any other questions before I continue? Yes? No? Maybe? So you're looking at the time?
Yes, can we
You have to go already?
Can we
How do you
finish
always
that
have the
second?
answer?
Okay. What?
You have everybody would give you like tough questions every week. You give us crazy answers.
Hashem yishmor.
I don't know.
Okay. Let's continue. Double
Divine
time.
class next time. Just to answer our
I
questions.
have a question. I just want to just to clarify. So what you're saying is basically that a person should go on that. You're saying obviously something wrong with being industrious,
There's nothing wrong with.
being industrious.
Okay.
But you're also saying that, obviously a person has to do a normally shtal, let's not go crazy, and money shouldn't be the ikr of his life. Hashem should be the ikr of his life.
Correct.
And when a person connects to Hashem, that will come.
Correct.
Obviously, a person has to do the normally shtal,
Correct.
but that will come.
Correct.
And because a person can work 24 hours a day, but if they're not meant to be rich, they're not gonna be rich.
Correct.
And a person can whatchamacallit,
Why that suck? Can I ask you a question, Yoshua?
What is that?
Can I ask you a question, Yoshua?
Yeah.
What size are you in shoes?
8.
8, right? If I find, I don't know, what's a good sneaker that everyone like,
Jordans.
Jordans, right? Some Jordan that you like, it's a discontinued, You said you're size 8? Size 7. Size 7.
Fit.
Would you buy?
Would you still try to shove your foot in to make it fit?
Can't.
But you want to show it off. So you'll make your feet bend, you'll do the Chinese method, you'll
My
crack
grandpa
all your
shoves
bones
his shoes, bro.
and everything, and then you'll shove in your foot. How are you gonna feel when you're gonna walk?
Broken leg.
If your clee is not made for it, why are you shoving yourself into it?
But you don't know.
You have to you do know that.
How?
Because as you live your life, Hashem takes you and He guides you. You don't even know how you got to the places that you got to today. It looks like it's all natural. I have this, I have that, I have this. No. It's called Siyata Dishmaya. God took you, Mr. Yoshua, come with me. And He carried you around your life. I don't even know how I got here today.
Just get a different shoe.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a different shoe is a different soul. A different soul is a different body. A different body is death and you have to come back. Are you willing to do that?
No, I mean.
Thank you.
Wait. In that analogy, you're saying if it doesn't fit,
Yeah, I get it.
One second. But He wants that shoe! What don't you understand? It doesn't fit!
so how about if a person gets the same exact shoe size?
No, it does. He wants a different shoe. But the shoe is size 6. He's a 7. He's a size 8. What does he do?
Go to a different store and buy it.
No, there isn't. This is the only one. This is the only shoe. Are you really having this? You're having a question on the mashal, right? You're so smart, right? Which high school you finished? Public school, right? No, don't answer. What's your question? I saw your hand.
Where to draw the line? Like you're saying that, like let's say a person is just very ambitious and they always want more. So how do you know when to draw the line? Like when do you stop?
When it starts to affect people around you, it's a big problem.
What does that mean affect people?
If a husband goes and buys his wife goodies because he's not doing what he's supposed to do and he just wants to shut her mouth, that's an issue. So what do people that are successful think? We'll go to vacation twice a year, I'll buy her all her fancy bags and get her jewelry and to have a nanny at home and have a cleaning lady and all this. That's defeating the purpose of why you're even married. The heck's the point? God, I really want to know, what is the point? Just to pop out kids? I have a better idea. Go to the club, find 2-3 girls, get them all pregnant at one time. That's it, live your life. You're doing the same thing. It'll cost you cheaper. You'll just pay child support, or you'll do the accountant way. You'll show in the books like you make pennies, and you'll pay $20 to this mother, $20 to that mother, $50. You're good. You're free. Why do you need this headache? Why are we getting married? Are we getting married just to have physical pleasure? You don't need marriage for that. You're getting married because you want to emulate God. What it means to emulate God? To create. After that, how do you emulate God? After you create, to give. That's why we do what we do. We don't do it because we're bored with our lives. We do it because we want to be godly. Being godly is doing what God does. But how can I do it if I don't know who God is or how He did it? That's why we learn. We learn in order to emulate God and all the attributes that He put down in this world to emulate Him. He has not those attributes, but that's what He put down, so we have to be like them. Correct?
Yeah.
Understood?
Yeah, but I don't think you understand that.
I understood your question. I'm trying not to answer the question that way. I'm trying to answer it this way.
No, but I don't think you understand that.
I understand you're saying when is the limit? How do I know I'm doing it too much?
Yeah, exactly. What if you just like have a desire to always be better in everything? You want to be better in the gym. You want to be better in making money. You always want to be better. So how do you know when to stop? Like, what's wrong? Like, why is it wrong to want to be better?
I'm not saying it's wrong. It's good to be better. It's good to be the best. But you also
But
have to
you're
know.
saying it's too much.
You have to know your limit.
But how do you know your limit? How do you know when to stop?
How do you know when to stop going for money, going
Yeah, how
to
do you know
learn
when to
more?
stop?
Valid point.
When do you
Valid
stop?
point. Valid point. It's valid. That's valid.
Right, I missed it.
She's asking, how do you know when your hishtadlut is an overload of a hishtadlut?
Oh,
Ask your own.
And what's enough? Rabbi, how do you know you're putting in enough shot?
One second. That's a different question. Let's
I feel like this is like what I want. Like I like this. Like people like challenge. Some people like strive off of that. So it makes them happy. You know, like they don't like to be bored.
give me a situation.
They're sitting in the settled, like I can do better. Why am I doing it?
Give me a situation.
Let's say a person is like, okay, I could make, let's say, $100,000 a year, but they know they can make more because if they just want.
right,
to.
right.
Why do you
So
want
I
to
already
stop
answered you, and that question I
You're a smart
answered
woman.
you.
But how do you know
I'm
when to
explaining.
stop?
I'm explaining to you. When you neglect the people that are around you because of your quote unquote ambitions,
Then it's wrong.
then it's a problem.
It's sacrifice, Rabbi. What do you
You
mean?
can't. It's not sacrifice. You're doing the sacrifice on the emotions of your children.
What does that mean?
That means therapy for them.
It's not true. Wait, what do you mean? Rabbi,
One second.
Rabbi, phone it?
Therapy?
Yes, very much so.
Rabbi, phone it? Rabbi,
Very much
I'm
so.
not gonna say no.
Absolutely not. Anyone that says that lives in an illusion, and we'll talk about that later.
Rabbi, he has a question.
I will talk about that later.
Rabbi, you have to, Rabbi, if you want to make money, you want to make a lot, you have to sacrifice, of course. I sacrifice.
You're sacrificing on whose account?
Yeah, but I'd rather
On whose account are you sacrificing? On the people that you think you're working for. Right? What do parents say? I did everything for you. I worked for you. But you were never there for me. So why do I need you to work for me? Don't substitute what you have to do as a parent with money. What am I going to do with your money now? I don't have any life skills. I don't know how to be normal. What, so you shove me with money? What am I going to do with this money? Can I know? It's like when a wife gets so fed up already about her marriage, and he says, I gave you everything, but you didn't give me you. What do I need the bag? What do I need the purse? What do I need the jewelry? What do I need the car? I don't need it. I need you. And he's in shock.
When you give her
Oh,
you,
shh.
then you give her money.
He's in shock for the rest of his life. Why? Because he realized he worked for nothing.
They always want something else, Rabbi.
Do you understand? If you are have a krum brain,
But it's
you're
true.
wrong.
It's
No,
true.
you're wrong.
I promise
You're
it's
wrong.
true.
You're wrong.
Because everyone sees
You're
everything
wrong.
else is
You're
different.
wrong.
Aside.
You're wrong.
Yes, Rabbi.
The way you saw that relationship that you saw, that's not an example. You're wrong. You're wrong. Not all women are like that. You're wrong.
Yeah,
Not all women think krum. You're wrong. You're 100% wrong. I'm not a feminist. I don't believe in that crap that they believe. But to say what you said now, to generalize that all women want something different just because, you're wrong. I don't agree with that. A man has to know how to represent himself. He has to know how to be a man, not to be a wimp. What happens? Men can't handle it, so they shove them with gifts. They shove them with things, and they're not understanding. You're putting a band-aid on the wound. You're not stitching the wound. You understand? Stitching the wound means being attentive, being there. If you're not there, why do I need your jewelry in your bag and everything? And that's just to every rich person that's having problems with his wife. All the women say this. And that's why they cheat on their husbands, because they're getting attention from another guy. Do you understand? That's what it leads from. People don't understand this because they don't want to change. So what's the excuse? She'll always want something else. Why? Why are you saying that? Because you are too of a wimp to change yourself. So change yourself, not you directly, but whoever it is. Change yourself, and that's not going to happen. When a couple doesn't have rules in the house, doesn't have set standards in the family, that's what happens. You're living Tarzan life. Do you understand? Very good. Let's go. Next. What?
Makes sense.
Next part. Oh, your question. Okay, go.
Well, it's gonna be hard. This one you can't answer.
Not here. It's all what Hashem wants. If Hashem puts
So-
the words in my mouth, like I say.
Why does God, okay, Yosef had a dream, right? So why does God give us these dreams or visions? Like we have to have this, if we're not even supposed to get it. First of all, please, like, I know you get excited, but like, it's a long question, so just like hang in there. The second part I wanted to say was,
Go.
the second part I wanted to say, but then I forgot.
Oh,
But anyway-
shit.
but anyway,
So
yeah,
let's
why
go
does
to the
God
first
give us-
question.
Why does God give us these things? Oh yeah, this is what I want to say. I don't think it's right that people say, oh, it's like you're not meant to be wealthy if you don't get it. Because it's not like there's an end. For example, like if I have a goal to get 3.5 GPA, at the end of my college, if I don't get 3.5 GPA, then that was the end. That was what's supposed to be. But when you're making money and you're alive every day, you're living every day, like there's no end. You can still accomplish that goal.
Can I ask you a question?
So
Can I ask you a
why
question?
does God give us that?
You know what? I'm gonna answer you with a story that happened to me.
Okay.
You ready? Yeah. One more time, listen. When I was buying my house, COVID time, I just had this conversation with my father. It's funny. Last week, listen. All your conversation is, I'm telling you, you're laughing. But
I'm laughing.
if you really watch the shoe, everything you spoke about is on the.
Fine.
It's not
It's
fine.
not to-
Why do I need to be fine? I want to listen.
It's what you said.
Yeah, you just explained it to me. It's
break it
Okay,
down.
listen.
Yeah.
Listen to this story.
It's a good question, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. Not something that we can't answer. Of course, we can answer these questions. It's a cute question.
It's cute.
Yeah, it's like a Cinderella question. How come the right foot of the shoe came off, not the left
It's like
one?
a cute girl. It's
You
cute.
understand?
It's cute.
So listen.
Can you repeat the question?
You ready? Oh, the question was, how come HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us certain drives that we have
To achieve something.
to achieve something
If we're not supposed to achieve
if we're not supposed to achieve it? So I'm going to answer you.
How do we know
It's
better?
2 parts. It's 2 parts. When I was buying my house, my father told me this. He was talking to me about certain things that I wanted to do with him. He said, you know, even when you got your house, you had no drive for it. There wasn't a drive. You know, buying your first house, it's a big thing. So I looked at my father and I said, I'm going to tell you why I don't have a drive. Because 2 reasons. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And regardless how I feel, it's going to happen. And number 2, why should I have a drive for something that you already have a drive for?
What?
What does that mean?
My father was running so much for me to get the house, it didn't make sense that I should also have the same drive. two people are gonna have the same drive for the same thing. What's the point? If he's already doing all the legwork, why do I have to do it too? I have someone worrying it for me. Why should I worry for it?
Are you saying God has this drive for us?
What I'm saying, if
So
a person
why do we
has
have
a
to
certain drive, right? And it's not far-fetched. It's not an illusion. It's a drive. When someone says, I want to be rich, right? How are you going to achieve it? I don't know. I'm going to invest and make millions of dollars. That's not a drive. That's an illusion. But when someone says, I want to be rich, what's your plan? Okay, this is my plan. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to become, a nurse. Okay. And then after a couple of years, I'm going to become a nurse practitioner. Okay. And then I'm going to open up my own practice. Very good. And then I'm going to expand and do ABCD. And in my practice, I'm going to do... That's a goal. That's a drive. That makes sense. That, kol hakavod, do it. That's not an illusion. But when a person, like everyone in this generation, says, I'm going to put some money in Robinhood or some other stupid exchange that they have no idea even how it works or what they're doing, and they're following people that are making money off them, they're getting clapped left and right, right? When they do that, and they say, I'm going to get rich, I promise you, this meme coin is going to go to the moon, huh? Your soul is going to go to the moon, maybe, because after you lose all your money, your heart's going to go like that, maybe, right? 2 hours ago, right? That's not a goal, that's not a drive, that's an illusion.
But we made money.
That doesn't make sense. Do you understand? That's the difference. People that have drives, they'll never give up on it. When a person says, I want to be financially free, he has no plan. He's just talking out of emotion. He's not talking out of desire. It's two different things. There is a desire, which means it's going to accomplish. It comes with seichel and leiv. And then there is just emotion, which is just what your heart wants. Not because you want it. Because you think it's going to take you out of certain difficulties in your life. Not knowing that if you don't know how to balance it, you're going to be in different difficulties with money. You guys don't know what rich people problems are.
It's very bad.
Rich people problems are 1,000 times harder than poor people problems. 1,000 times. 1,000 times. So this illusion that we live in, we have to wake up from it. Okay, answered? Or no?
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know. Okay, I think I answered it. Okay.
I need a one-on-one later. It's deep, it's deep.
Honestly,
Listen,
I
for
need
therapy
one.
classes I charge. Oh, let's go.
How much?
You can't afford
You
it.
said
Let's
Robots
go.
have to be available. Now you're
Let's go.
charging me.
I'm available.
You can
Not
afford
for broken
For
families.
the right price. For the right price.
it.
Right?
He can afford it.
You good? Okay.
I'm his lawyer.
Go.
Rabotai, let's go. Wait. I have to get to the second shot that I wanted to say. Let's take the story of Yosef and the selling. Let's break it down. And like this, it's going to make very much sense. We all know the Torah is not in order. Right? And the Abarbanel brings the Pirush of the Ralbag on this. What does the Ralbag say? Yosef is coming to where?
Dotan.
Yes. And who does he see there?
Malach Gabriel.
And then where did the angel say to go?
Go to the Sedei Shechem.
Shechem.
Yeah.
He goes to Shechem. Who does he see there?
His brothers.
Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zevulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. Right? 9 of his brothers. We all know the Midrash. Yosef was actually there. 10 of his brothers were there. Yosef was there. And he comes.
Shimon.
And Shimon and Levi said, look at this Baal Chalomot, this person that has dreams. Let's take care of him. Let's kill him. Let's finish this off.
They really want to kill
They wanted to kill him.
Wait, wasn't
They wanted to kill him.
Wasn't Reuven also present?
Yeah, as I said, Reuven was there.
Didn't they keep the Torah?
1 second, Benjamin was too young. He was with his father.
Didn't they keep
What
it?
happened? What happened?
Reuven
They thought he was Chayav Mitah for saying Lashon Hara.
What? Lashon Hara is a lot. Last time I checked. I mean,
They said he's Chayav
crazy.
Mitah. They said he's Chayav Mitah.
That's
Maybe
literally
we'll
true.
put it
Yeah.
fast.
Reuven.
Chayav Mitah?
Yeah.
Rabbi, is it true Reuven suggested to throw him in the pit because he wanted
Oh,
to
so what happened? Reuven said, why do you need your brother's blood on you? Let's take him and throw him
in the pit?
in the pit.
Grandma Potter.
Reuven left. And Yehuda, what happened?
Yehuda and Shimon.
Yehuda came and said, why do we need our brother's blood on our hands? let's take him and let's sell him to the Ishmaelim.
That's crazy.
What happened to Yehuda that he decided to change his mind? And today I'm going to reveal to you that what I think is a pirush emet. Of course, who am I? But this is what I feel. The story of Yehuda and his sons happened before the selling of the brother. The story of Yehuda with his two sons that died
That was before?
happened this is not my words, the Ralbach says it.
Yeah, because
Happened before. No, the Torah has it after.
that's what I'm saying.
Why does the Torah have it after? Because it wants to show you the story between two women. The woman with what's her name? With Eshet Potiphar and with Yehuda, Isha Knanit,
Modesty and
Tamar. It's right next to each other.
So modesty and
Doesn't it say?
Correct. No, one second. I have to say the pirush. Yehuda understood what it means to lose a child.
But why is it?
He understood what it is, the pain for a father not to have his son. So he said, instead of killing my brother, what will I do? I will sell my brother. And that's why when he went down to Mitzrayim, who was looking for him? Yehuda was looking for him. What happened after? When Yehuda heard that the brothers wanted to kill his brother, he got disgusted from them. The Torah says he left them. He didn't associate himself with his brother. Who ended up living in Yaakov Avinu's house? Yehuda. That's why Yehuda, when Yaakov Avinu sent Binyamin, who did he trust? Yehuda. Why? Because Yehuda lived in whose house? Yaakov. Why was Yehuda the brother that was sent to Mitzrayim first? Why? Because he lived with his father. His father had a trust to him like he had for who? For Yosef. And that's why two of the Mashiachs have to come from who? Yosef and Yehuda. Because the one that does kivud avayim to that extent, to the point that they're living and breathing the respect of a parent. They're living and breathing the understanding of their feelings. Not to judge someone, but to put their shoes in someone else's feet. I'm going to now embarrass him. How is he going to feel bad? Imagine someone would do that to me. I'm not going to do that to him. How is it if I'm going to steal from him? How about if someone robs me? How am I going to feel about that? When you put your shoes in someone else's, the epitome, the climax of the mitzvah, Hareini mikabel alai mitzvah, taseh v'ahavta kamocha. That's what he felt at that moment. And he said, what? We're not going to kill the brother. We're going to sell him. Rabotai, I want you to understand the Torah is not a storybook. It's a sefer with the knowledge, the dot of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this knowledge of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is endless, Hashem says, I'm giving it to you. This is real life. This is worth more than all the money in the world. If you know this, you will be remembered forever and ever. If you have all the money in the world, you'll be remembered in a textbook. If you know the Torah, people will learn your knowledge one day. People will want to strive to be like you. People will name their kids like you. People will strive and have your pictures on the wall. Not that you should do it because of that, but this should be an incentive why you should say, Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu. I'm not leaving the Torah 1 second. Your wife will love you. Your kids will love you. You will have students that will breathe you, that will just want to be 24/7 around you. That money cannot buy. You know who wants to be around you when you have money? Genavim, Gizlanim, Kshufim, Mammon Retzach. That will be around you. When you learn Torah, who wants to be around you?
Say English.
Who will want to be around you when you have money? People that just want to take your money. People that just want to steal from you. People that just want your money to do whatever they want. People that want to get you information how you got rich. If you have Torah, what do you have? You have everything. You could have nothing monetarily, but you have everything monetarily. Why? Because the Torah teaches you what you have or what you don't have, it's irrelevant as long as you have this. This gives truth and happiness. This, nothing else. Because this is netzach, this is forever. This was here before you were born. This will be here after you pass away. This will be here when your kids will be born. And this will be here when your great-grandkids will be born. But your money, not necessary. So why are we striving for things that are not netzach? Why are we striving for things that are not forever? We have to strive for things that are forever. Something that's forever, can it ever be bought? So is it more valuable than money? So then what's the real money? Why are you running for monetarily garbage? You think that's going to give you satisfaction? Life freedom? It's not going to give you life freedom. It's going to give you life headache. Have money. Be wealthy. But if it's not for this, then there is no point of all your money. Stop. What's your question?
I have one final question. I don't understand the placement of the pasuk according to this understanding. It says right after the selling of Yosef, it says Yehuda left his brothers, he went down. But then right after it says Vayet ad ish adonami u'shmo Hira. He went and got married to the daughter of Hira.
That's a new chapter.
Within the same pasuk.
Correct. Because what happens after that?
He has Sham Yehuda ish. I'm saying.
After that story, what happens?
Tamar. What Tamar?
What happens after that story?
Yosef goes to Potiphar.
Since the Torah wanted to put the two similar stories of women together, according to the Ralbag, it said first the story of the selling, and then it said the story of Yehuda and the thing. Why did he leave his brothers? Because he felt disgusted from them.
Rabbi, why does
This
that?
pasuk is out of place.
Correct. Why?
It's one pasuk.
Why? Because the Ralbag is saying that story happened before.
So why couldn't Hashem write this pasuk earlier in a different?
No, because then it wouldn't make sense. Where would he have went? They didn't sell the brothers yet. Where is he going?
Okay. Here's
Go, question.
How is it praiseworthy that he decided, okay, let's sell him, not kill him? Why didn't he just say, let's not kill him?
Because he knew the brothers would kill him.
They would do it anyway.
He knew the brothers will kill him. That's why
Kill
Reuven
Yehuda or kill?
killed Yehuda. That's why. What did Reuven tell the brothers? Put him in the pit because they thought he's chayav mitah. They thought he's obligated to death penalty. They thought what they're doing is good, not bad. Since they thought that, they all understood they're under one category.
What he said?
Well, I'll show it to you inside. Rabotai, any final questions? Anybody?
No, you killed
No?
us today.
Baruch Adonai leolam. Amen.
Fine.
Amen.